Well, if you hear a lot of hissing in the background, that's the air conditioning in the car. It says it's 99 degrees. When I first got in the car, it said it was 100 degrees. So toasty warm here as I introduce this final video in my 5-part series about our big trip. Well, kind of big trip. For us, it wasn't a huge trip, but it was a pretty big trip, 3,500 miles. And we went to North Carolina, coastal North Carolina, to see friends there, and then up through Charlotte to see family, and on to Tennessee to see friends in Tennessee, and then up to Ohio for some family stuff up there for Mildred's family, and then to Iowa for some activities with my family before we head home. And going home is what we'll be talking about today. We've got about 1,300 miles to cover, something like that, and we stretch it into 2 days. And we kind of let this Ioniq 5 stretch her legs a bit on this one. It's not quite like you remember in The Lord of the Rings when Gandalf has to ride Shadowfax a long ways in a hurry, and he said, show us the meaning of haste. It wasn't quite like that, but we were kind of hustling on this one. So I'm going to minimize the B footage. We won't see quite as much scenery in this one, because besides, I really don't have that much, because we found out about the middle of the afternoon on the first day that the power plug for our dash cam was unplugged, so I don't have any of that footage to put in this video. So that will shorten things up a little bit and make it a bit more manageable for me to edit. And so let's get started, and we're about ready to head south from Iowa. 9 minutes before 6 o'clock, we are ready to head for home from West Branch, Iowa. We've got a 90% state of charge. We had to keep unplugging because of all the lightning storms while we were here, but that's enough to get us down the road to Woodhull. Should be an Illinois sign. Definitely across the river.
I see it coming.
There it is. Hiding in the trees. We're in Illinois. Percent, so mighty high state of charge on arrival, but the car was going to get to the one I really wanted to go to, the Ioniq, with about 1%. And we need to go to the bathroom anyway. So we'll stop here and get a quick slurp, and just long enough to go to the bathroom, and then go get some more at the Ioniq where it's a lot less expensive. Okay, let's try something different this time. I'm gonna try putting in the adapter first, and I get one hand to this whole thing. Okay. Well, what do you know? The plug's facing the wrong way. Let's see. All right, payment authorized. Connecting. Yeah, I do have to go to the bathroom, so let me go ahead and lock the car so that I'm ready when this thing gets going. I always like to make sure once in a while something will go kerflooey and you gotta change cables or change chargers. Checking safety. Like I say, we're not going to need a whole lot here.
Charging starting.
Okie doke. There we go. Starting charge 61%. Now we're at 62. 18, 23, 25, 30. Ramping up. I don't think it's going to ramp up real high, but I'm going to go inside, come back and check on this. Well, no canopies over the charger here at this Pilot, but we still got the washers, you know, windshield squeegees and the trash cans, and all the amenities inside, including a Magnum bar for breakfast part 2. So let's see how the car is going. I'm figuring probably take it to 75%. That should get us there at the Ioniq chargers in Springfield with, at least 15%. So let's see what's going on here. Okay, let's see. In use, that's the one I want. And we're up to 70% now in less than 7 minutes. 71%. Okay, I'll give it a couple more minutes while I clean the windshield. All right, time to unplug and hit the road. Where are we at here? 76% after throwing out the trash. Been here 10 minutes and 11 seconds so far, and $7.89. Hit the stop button. Yes, I want to end the session. That's why I pushed the stop button. Final cost unavailable, but 10 minutes and 22 seconds. 15.11 and a half kilowatt hours. And we're at 76%. Let's go.
The cooler is not plugged in.
What?
The cooler is not plugged in.
Ooh, I forgot. I gotta plug in our cooler. Then we can go. We are 76%. I had already looked up the Ioniq. So we'll route to that. Start
Starting
guidance.
route guidance. Turn right onto Plaza Avenue and then turn right.
134 miles. It says we'll get there with 19%, which obviously means it'll be more like 25%. So, okay, let's go. We have arrived at the Ioniq chargers in Springfield, Illinois, after 133 miles from our stop to charge back in Woodhull, where we had to go to the bathroom anyway. And it's a good thing we charged, because we got here with 24% after adding about that much back there. I can't remember what it was, but anyhow, it's a good thing we did that. We had to go to the bathroom anyway, so everything worked out where it didn't cost us any time. And we got 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour, and we're gonna charge up here, and I think it's 180 something to our next charging stop, so we'll have to get a pretty good dose here. So let's get started. Let's use the handy dandy plug and charge. Take the handle. If it'll turn. There we go. We are plugged in. And it's checking for plug and play. Authenticating, preparing, 39 cents per kilowatt hour. The car says charging started. So I'll come back and check on this in a minute. We have canopy. Canopy not doing a whole lot of good. The sun's still shining right in through the windshield. 237 kilowatts at the moment. Okay, starting state of charge was 24%. We're at 28% now. Up to 239, 237, 239. Okay, that was a little weird. I wonder what that notch was about. I don't think I have ever seen it do that before. But still pulling 203 kilowatts, and we've got over 50%, 56% or thereabouts. And been charging for almost 9 minutes. Now we're at 89%, so let's see if we got enough. Hit the reroute, because it won't do it by itself.
Please proceed to the highlighted route, then the route guidance will start.
Now what does it say? Oh yeah, 15% on the right, but we're in good shape. Okay, let's go shut this thing off. Got a pretty blue Lyric over there now. It's almost exactly the same color, might be exactly the same color as my wife's Bolt. Active sessions. Point the camera in the right direction, that'll help. Oh, 90% now. Okay. $25.56, almost 60 kilowatt hours. Time, 25 minutes and 49 seconds so far. And the screwiest looking curve, I don't know what is that big dip all about there, but after that it looks perfectly normal. And I think that extended our peak before it started dropping. But at any rate, we're down to 45 kilowatts. It is time to go. So we're back, recording of that. Cost detail. All right, we got her all recorded. Let's hit the stop button and unplug this puppy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I want to stop charging. I think it stopped. My lights quit blinking. There we go. We have arrived at the Pilot in, I think, oh yeah, Marion, Illinois, I think. I'll have to double check on that. 178.5 miles, 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour, 26% state of charge on arrival. So a bit more than expected as usual, or more than predicted. And quite a bit of construction slowing us down in a long stretch of 60-mile-an-hour road. But we've got stuff to eat here, and it is well beyond our typical lunchtime. So let's get this charge started, and we'll find something. Got a Subway here. Maybe we'll do that. Well, let me try what I did before. Put the adapter in first, like so. Here at the charge handle, which of course wants to point in the opposite direction. Put that in like so. Let's see what this does. Authorized. Checking cable safety as always. Now we're ready to go. Okay, 26%. Just getting started. Car says it's started charging. Ramping up. Looks like we're ready to go. 87, 88% now. Next stop will be the another Pilot. This one's in Dixon, Tennessee, and it says we'll get there with 12%. So this might as well have what going. And we'll stop charge. Well, first, let's see. Still getting 53 kilowatts. Spent $30.39 so far. 22 minutes and 25 seconds, which is how long it took us to go in and use the restroom and get some lunch. Session details. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, let's stop. Well, we're getting to Ohio.
No.
No?
Kentucky.
Yeah, Ohio River. We're getting to Kentucky. We're not going to Ohio today. So, naturally, they close the lane, which they had to do because it's full of barrels. But I think there's some actual road work going on up here this time. We only got to get much of a view of the river.
It's probably pretty muddy anyway.
Well, it is the Ohio River.
Although it doesn't
that's
look too
maybe better.
brown.
Yeah, there's the river. Better quit doing that. Make somebody sick. Give it an epileptic seizure or something.
Almost to feet dry on the map.
You see the top of the side. Oh yeah, it's got the outline of Kentucky on it. There we go. Here's Kentucky. % state of charge, got 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour and 182.9 miles. So there was some slow going in that. We took some back roads and went through a couple of towns and stuff like that to save some distance. So now we'll charge up here at yet another Pilot station with EVgo chargers. That worked pretty well last time when I did the adapter first.
It's a fair little walk.
Okay. Wendy's is fine. These things always face the wrong direction. There, I got it. All right. Payment has been authorized. 22%. We're already at 48 kilowatts. Climbing fast. We're going to go get some supper. All right. We're at 83%. And the car says we'll arrive at the charger, which is where we're going tomorrow morning, at 13%. By the time I get unplugged, it'll be higher than that. So we're going to get out, unplug, reset the nav to take us to our hotel, and hit the road and snack on some chicken nuggets while I drive. Time to put a stop to this. 78 kilowatts at 84%. 19 minutes and 59 seconds. Oh, let's stop again. There, 20 minutes and 1 second. Almost nailed it. Anyhow, we peaked out at 254 kilowatts. I saw that on the charging curve on the app when I checked it earlier while we were inside. And now, of course, we catch up with the truck. And there it is. Alabama. Sweet home Alabama. Last state before we get to Florida. We're at the hotel. We just checked in. It is 7:41, so we've been close to 14 hours. Yeah, 13 hours and 51 minutes since we left my sister's house. And if I remember the starting odometer reading, I think it is 725 miles that we did today. So 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour on the last charge, 150 miles, and 28% left. And the next charger is going to be in the morning, and it's fairly close. I think it's like 30 miles or something. I don't remember. I have to look it up. But we're going to hit this hack. We're tired. Saturday morning, last day of our trip. We've got something like 580 miles to go. It's about 6:30. Just getting ready to leave the hotel at 27%, but it's only 4.6 miles to our charging stop, and says we'll get there with 26%. So we won't have to charge very long there. I think it's 144 miles to the Sam's Club in Montgomery, where there's Electrify America. That's our planned next stop. And so I guess we're going to hit the road. Well, there we are. How far did we go since the hotel? 4.5 miles. So don't really have to go to the bathroom yet. But let's call up the next stop. All right, we found it. It is at Montgomery, Electrify America. We charged there in the fall of 2022 in our boat in our very first ever road trip. So start the guidance.
Starting route guidance. Turn right and then turn right.
And it's 143 miles. So it looks like we need to add about 50%. So we'll charge it up to 75%. And that will be more than enough because, as you can see, every time this car estimates, it's wildly optimistic. Well, this system seems to work pretty well. Plug that in. Grab this, plug it in. And just wait. Just you wait. All right, well, we just left the hotel about 10 minutes ago, so there's no need to go to the bathroom. So this will be the only stop so far on this trip where we will have to wait for the car. Every other time, the car's been ready to go by the time we get back from the restroom. So we'll find something to occupy ourselves. I will probably be looking at the route ahead. I think, yeah,
Find what I'm looking for.
Mildred's going to be looking for stuff that's packed away that we can't find on our last day of the trip home. You know how stuff gets all scrambled up. Okay, we're matching voltage. And any second here, we'll start charging. There we go. 75 kilowatts. Amperage is still climbing. Let's see if it'll go to the max. It's one thing I do like about these Delta chargers at PFJ is that they show the amperage and they show the maximum that it can put out. Same thing with the volts and the kilowatts. And so that way you know whether you're pulling as much as you can. And so, okay, we're up to maximum amps. So now the kilowatts will just climb as the voltage climbs. So we're pulling 180 kilowatts, but as the voltage gets higher, it will ramp up. So if you see a charging curve, that's usually the function you're seeing is the amperages are maxed out, and so the kilowatts will climb as the volts climb, because kilowatts is amps times volts. All right, the cooling fans are coming on. Okay, let's see what the car says. I'm planning on 75%. What does it give for an estimate to 80%? 17 minutes to get to 80%. So, yeah, we'll probably be here about 15 minutes. So we'll just relax and figure out what we're doing next. There's one thing I can do while we wait. Windshield's getting pretty bugged out. And I'll bet the front of the car is even worse. And it's another beauty of the Pilot Flying J. Looky there. Windshield washer stuff. Squeegee. Scraper. Trash can. And there's stuff in there too. Who'da thunk it? We will not find that at our next charging stop at the Electrify America. They don't do that for you. Even though it's at a Sam's Club and it is right there at the gas station. Got a gas station there. So I suppose you could walk over to the gas station and do it. That's the way they do it at other places that are at truck stops sometimes. I was a little reluctant to cut it too close because sometimes conditions happen that make you use a lot more than you wanted to. So I have 10% there. But I think by the time I get out and get unplugged, we'll be there. So let's do that. 73% now, 15 minutes. Not too bad for being slowed down. Let's go ahead and stop this thing. Yeah, we'll end the session. Alrighty. This always takes two hands, so I have to put down the phone. Got some pretty trees along the way here. Not to mention some pretty clouds. Nice morning. Last morning of the trip. Well, we're passing through Alabaster, Alabama, and we charged about 64 miles back. We're headed south to almost 3 years ago. We were on our first road trip in our Chevy Bolt, and we were headed north on this route, and we charged in Alabaster. And we also charged in Montgomery, which is where we're going to charge headed south on this trip. So that kind of gives you an idea how much better the range is on this Ioniq 5 than it is on our old Chevy Bolt. So it's kind of nice to be able to go that far between charges, but that also means you have to stop in between charges to go to the bathroom, which we did a bunch of times yesterday. So we made it to the Sam's Club in Montgomery, Alabama. Trip summary says we got here at 9:12, It took us 42 minutes of driving time and 139 miles. We arrived with 21%. Again, way more than what's predicted. So I'm going to plug in here and get started. I'm going to try again to use the virtual card in my watch, but I'm not going to try to video it because, well, frankly, it's just too hard to do. I'll let you know what happens. Okay, I didn't get the camera started fast enough. That was screwy. I tried to do it using the virtual member's card in my watch. It appeared to work, but then it said it couldn't start a plug-in charge. So I restarted it just using the app like normal. And I came back around here to the screen and it had a Windows screen Microsoft Windows. And I thought, well, cheapers, the charger must be screwed up. So as I got out the phone, the Windows screen went away and it said initiating charging. Electrify America. I didn't want to go to Electrify America here today because, for one thing, the only thing here is the Sam's Club gas station and the Sam's Club store that at this time of the day isn't open to regular members. This parking lot is packed with the I forget what they call them, the Member Plus or whatever it is that you pay the extra fee to so that you get extra perks. But doesn't do any good here. But we're still initiating charging, so I don't know what's going to happen here. This has gone on for way too long. So there's another 350 over here behind me. If this fails, I'll go over to that one. This will be the first charging stop, if I have to do that, that I have had to change chargers. It's been that good. And of course, the one that fails is Electrify America. So we're still initiating charging. I'm not just going to waste your time videoing this anymore. I'll let you know what happens. Well, it said it was, oh, looky there. All right. It still doesn't know me. It's like the other one. Always before it identified me when I started it with my plan. But I'm just driver now. 39 cents a kilowatt hour. Can't complain about that. Still waiting for it to actually commence charging. I hit the continue button. And that really was helpful. The car says charging started. 20 minutes until 80%. All right, I'm going to do some checking and see where the next charger is and how much charge we're going to need in order to get there. And meanwhile, Milders is out here walking in a parking lot somewhere. That's what we did almost 3 years ago when we were here with the Bolt. Stopped on the way north. We just walked and walked and walked because there was nothing else to do here. And really, we don't have anything to do. So we will be waiting on the car this time because, well, I do appreciate Electrify America getting the ball rolling and finding some place to put their chargers. But, you know, I think I'd rather be at a Sheetz or a Wawa or something like that than just here in the middle of this big old parking lot with nothing else to do. But hey, at least we're charging. I still have not been skunked on this trip, but this is the first time that I've had to change chargers. Our next stop is the EV Go down at Interstate 10. And it's already saying we'll be there with 14%, and Mildred is still not back from the restroom. So anyhow, that's Marianna, Florida. And we'll be taking the back roads down there to Interstate 10. And then head over towards Tallahassee and then down US 19 down towards home. So yeah, I would unplug now, but that would be kind of a waste because the Pilot Flying J is more expensive here than the Electrify America with the discount plan that I've got. So while it is flaky, at least it's reasonably inexpensive here. So here she comes. I see her coming this way past the cart corral. So let me unplug and we'll hit the road. We're at 70%. It says it'll take 5 minutes to go to 80%, but there's no need for that. So let's be about our business, which is driving. Yeah, this is the Welcome Center. Welcome to Florida. Eat barrels? We got barrels. Well, I decided to stop here across, down the road from the, from the Pilot Flying J, because superchargers are cheaper. I don't need very much because it's only about 90-something miles to our next charge, which is at an Ioniq, also cheap. So this is where we're going to charge today. When I first checked the supercharger status, there was only one charger in use. And now when I pull in here, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in use plus us. And this red Model 3 has taken the spot that would have been the perfect one for us. We only would have taken one spot. We got a Rivian over there that was real smart about it too. All right, we stopped at Chick-fil-A, got some carry out, and we're gonna eat lunch. Okay, we're done charging. 67 miles to the Ioniq. It says we'll get there at 10%. Let's see what happens. 17%. The car predicted 11% when we would arrive here at the brand new Ioniq chargers on the east side of Tallahassee. And so it's 2:50 p.m. And what's it say here? Yeah, an hour and 7 minutes it took us. 67.6 miles. Not very far, but we just wanted enough juice at the superchargers to get us to here, where we get a much faster charge. So I'm gonna go plug in. All right, this is gonna look silly, but I had forgotten to turn plug-in charger back on after I finished at the superchargers. So now let's do this. We are plugged in and ready to go at 39 cents. Plug in your vehicle. I just did that. There you go. Yeah, I don't think I'll show you the other video. It was embarrassing. I plugged in and nothing happened.
Charging started.
I hear it. Charging started. Okay, well that's working its way up. You see that yellow canopy over there, this gas station over there, it has some EV Connect chargers. We've used those a couple of times on trips. I thought this exit looked familiar. So it's the same exit. And this thing is brand spanking new. They still, see the fences are still stacked over there. Zoom in a little. See the fences all still stacked. And we still have one of these here. So work in progress. But look at all these pull-through stations. Let me zoom back out again so you can see this. And over here on the and, there was an ID4 here at number 2 when we arrived. And the thing about this place, though, I just noticed, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 CCS ports and 2 NACS ports. I don't think I've ever seen that. This place isn't done yet by any means. There's a spot here for another charger. Conduit stubbed off. That'll probably be the other NACS charger. But they do have the lights, and they have the chargers, and they have the power, so they went ahead and turned it on. A lot of other companies would have left this unavailable until everything was done, and they had the canopy up, and they had they wouldn't have bothered with those windshield washers and trash cans and stuff. They wouldn't have bothered with that, but they would have waited till everything was done, and then they would have opened it up. These guys opened it up right away. I guess they call that Ioniq speed. What do we got going on here? We got fans going on, I'll tell you that. Active sessions. This one, 241 kilowatts. 16 minutes to 80%. I'm going to have to figure out how much I want to charge. I could conceivably make it all the way home from here. It's about 200 miles, I think. But I'll figure that out. We could stop. Oh, where is it? Crystal River, I think, has some superchargers. So we could stop there on the way home and get a little sip before we get home. But we'll see how it goes. Let's check out the old chargers. We generally had pretty good experiences here, except first time I went to charge here, I tried to use my EV Connect app to start the charger. It wanted my password. Somehow I didn't have the password in my phone. I couldn't make it start. That's when I discovered that, oh, wait a minute, these guys roam with ChargePoint. So I pulled out my little ChargePoint RFID card and held it up to this little gizmo there. The charge started right up. Cooler all get out. Anyhow, these are actually pretty decent chargers. Can't remember the top speed on these. I have to look it up. Seems to me it's like 180. But we charged our Bolt here one time, and we charged our 24 Ioniq 5 here. So, pretty decent place. If you want to wash your windshield, you can. It's right over there in the little blue containers. So, let's go see how the car is doing. Alright. The car is ready. My wife is not. She's down there at that gas station. But she's checking out. So, I would just unplug and ride down there and get her. Maybe she'll be done checking out by then. $23.11. $18.35, or yeah, 18 minutes and 39 seconds charge time. Let's look at the charging detail. Now that's a near perfect charging curve. Look at that. It even came up a little bit there lately. It's up over 110 kilowatts at 78%. So let us stop the charge. Should have a good enough view of that. Oh, and by the way, another 25 or 26 Ioniq 5 Limited came rolling in here. So he plugged in and charged. So I hailed him, said, nice car. He said, back at ya. Okay, let's go pick up mi esposa. And we'll head for home, and maybe we'll make it all the way, and maybe we'll stop at the superchargers. Looks like we're getting close to the Suwannee River. Kind of an interesting bend in the river. Entering Gilchrist County, historic Suwannee River. That's it.
Way down upon the Suwannee River.
We are in Crystal River, Florida. We have 15% left in the battery. And so we're going to pull into this Wawa here and use their charge. Ready to charge at the superchargers in Crystal River. And let's see, what is that? 2 hours and 45 minutes of driving time. 161 miles. Oh, we got it up to 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour. We always get terrible efficiency on US 19. I don't know why. We are officially home. It is 7:35 p.m. And let's see, how hard we go on this charge? 60.7. And we got home with 19% stated charge, so not bad. 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour. Took us an hour and 7 minutes to get here from the Wawa up in Crystal River. And the superchargers there. So we're home. Time to turn on circuit breakers, turn on the water, and unload the car and go to bed. I'll figure out the data in a day or two or three. Well, I got everything punched into the spreadsheet now. We drove a total of 3,567 miles on this trip, and we DC fast charged 23 times. The cost per mile that you see there is 12 cents per mile. That's what it would have cost if we'd had to pay for every single charge, every single DC fast charge. We did have some free L1 charging in Bolivia and in West Branch, but I just went ahead and pretended like we had to pay for all of our fast charges. So that came to $436.37. And we spent a total of 7 hours and 24 minutes charging, and not counting the overnight charging. Our quickest charge was the second one in Asheville, North Carolina. It was actually a charge that we didn't need at all. We just stopped for 6 minutes. The long one was in Gilman, Illinois, at that Ioniq charger. And if you remember, it had the weird notch in the peak of the curve, so that might have cost us a minute or two there. But that was a big charge. We went from 8% to 88% at that charge, so we added 80% to the battery. So no wonder it took just over a half an hour. But we had several stops that were 9 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 12 minutes. A couple of 12-minute ones. We got an 11-minute one in there. So quite a few of the charges were fairly short, especially on that last leg from West Branch, Iowa back to home, because we kind of went into boogie mode and tried to optimize the charging a little better. If you scan down through there, you'll see that by and large our charges were shorter than they were on the first part of the trip, where we weren't in any kind of hurry. And then in the middle part from Ohio to Iowa, we were doing long stretches, and so we had deep charges, so those added up. So those are the stats, and next up is a trip to Washington State, and we're going to check something off on the bucket list if all goes according to plan. And we want to go see the Olympic Peninsula and Olympic National Park up in Washington State. So that's coming up in September. We'll start on that trip. We're figuring it'll take us about 6 weeks, so I won't be doing any videos about that trip for quite some time. So thanks for watching, and if you stayed with me all through these 5 episodes, congratulations. We'll see you next time.